Are you unknowingly sabotaging your health in the most ordinary way possible? Every morning, millions of us step into the shower, brush our teeth, maybe apply a little lotion, and move on with our day. It feels routine, familiar, responsible. But what if I told you that this very routine might be leaving your body vulnerable in ways you never imagined? Think about it for a moment. Why do some people, well into their 80s and 90s, still wake up full of life, sharp as a tack, walking with energy and purpose, while others, often much younger, seem to live in a constant fog of fatigue, catching every bug going around, struggling with aches that never go away? We often chalk it up to luck or good genes. But according to new research and one eye-opening conversation I had with a geriatric health expert, it may come down to something much simpler, much smaller. Something as basic as how you clean your body. Let that sink in. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of us are skipping 5 critical areas when we wash. Not out of laziness, not out of neglect. Just because no one ever told us they mattered. And the consequences? They're far from minor. Neglecting these spots can quietly lead to inflammation, bacterial infections, weakened immunity, poor circulation, even complications related to diabetes, heart disease, or memory loss. That's not fear-mongering, that's biological reality. Now here's the good news. Fixing this doesn't require expensive products or hours in the bathroom. You don't need to overhaul your life. Just a few minutes a day with a little more intention could transform how you feel from the inside out. When I first learned about this from Dr. Emma Harris, a geriatric specialist with over 30 years of experience working with older adults, I was stunned. I thought I had hygiene figured out. I mean, haven't we all been washing ourselves since we were toddlers? But what she told me flipped everything upside down. She said, it's not about being clean, it's about being thorough in the right places. And most people, especially as we age, are cleaning the obvious areas, but ignoring the ones that matter most for long-term health. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through the 5 most overlooked body parts that need your daily attention. Places that are quietly collecting bacteria, trapping toxins, and holding back your health. These aren't obscure body zones you've never heard of. In fact, they're hiding in plain sight. And once you know what they are and how to care for them properly, you may notice some surprising benefits. Fresher breath, better balance, fewer aches, even deeper sleep. This isn't hype. It's a set of small, intentional actions that can ripple outward, helping you live longer, move easier, and feel better in your own skin. So stick with me. By the end of this video, you'll not only know the 5 key body parts to focus on, but you'll also learn why they matter so much and how just 3 to 5 minutes a day can make a difference you can feel. And hey, before we dive in, if you care about your health and want more honest, science-backed tips like this, do me a quick favor. Tap the like button and subscribe. It's free and it helps more folks like you find this life-changing information. All right, ready to discover the most surprising place to begin? Here's a clue. It's the one part of your body that affects your taste, your breath, and your heart. Yet you probably haven't cleaned it, really cleaned it, in years. Let's begin with the tongue, because the truth about what's hiding there might just shock you. Let's start with something you use all day, every day. Something that quietly holds the key to better health, clearer breath, even sharper taste. Your tongue. Yes, that small pink muscle sitting quietly in your mouth is one of the most overlooked parts of your hygiene routine. But what most people don't realize, especially as we age, is that your tongue isn't just a helper for eating or speaking. It's a battlefield. At any given moment, your tongue is home to over 700 types of bacteria. Some are helpful, but many are not. Left undisturbed, they form sticky layers of grime, what doctors call biofilm, and this invisible layer can do far more than just cause bad breath. Let me paint a picture. Imagine you cleaned your kitchen, but skipped wiping the countertops for days. Crumbs, grease, and bacteria would start building up, right? Now imagine breathing through that mess 24/7. That's what happens when you skip tongue cleaning. But here's where things get serious. The bacteria living on your tongue can slip into your bloodstream, especially through tiny cuts or inflamed gums, which are common in older adults. Over time, this can trigger chronic inflammation throughout the body, weakening your immune system and contributing to major health problems. Studies now link poor tongue hygiene to heart disease, type 2 diabetes complications, respiratory infections, even early cognitive decline. And it doesn't stop there. A coated, unhealthy tongue dulls your sense of taste, leaving food bland and enjoyment dimmed. And that lingering bad breath, no matter how much you brush your teeth, it usually starts on the tongue. Dr. Emma Harris once told me this: the tongue is like the air filter in your car. If you don't clean it, everything downstream suffers. Thankfully, the fix is simple and takes just a couple of minutes each day. How to clean your tongue the right way. Start with a tongue scraper, not a toothbrush. Toothbrush bristles simply glide over the surface. A scraper actually lifts and removes the bacteria-filled film. You can find one at any drugstore. Here's what to do. 1. Gently scrape from the back of your tongue toward the front. 2. Don't press too hard. You're not sanding wood. Think of it like wiping dust off a delicate table. 3. Repeat 3 to 4 times. You'll likely see a white or yellowish residue, dead cells, bacteria, leftover food. That's what you don't want staying inside your mouth. 4. Rinse well with water or an antibacterial mouthwash. Timing matters too. In the morning, clean before breakfast to clear away bacteria that accumulated overnight. At night, scrape gently before bed when your tongue is more sensitive. Just 3 minutes a day can unlock health changes you didn't think were possible. The unexpected benefits of tongue cleaning. Take Linda, a 67-year-old retired nurse. After just 3 weeks of cleaning her tongue, she told me, "My coffee finally tasted like coffee again. I didn't realize how dull my taste had gotten." Or Theodore, a 71-year-old former school teacher. He struggled with bad breath for years, even brushing and flossing religiously. But nothing worked until he started scraping his tongue. 2 weeks later, the odor was gone, and so was the anxiety about talking to others. It changed more than his breath, it changed his confidence. Tips for beginners. If you have a strong gag reflex, start by scraping from the middle of your tongue and work backward gradually. Watch for unusual signs like white patches or persistent soreness. These may signal something deeper. Talk to your doctor if they persist. And most importantly, be consistent. A small, simple habit, often ignored, could quietly change the way you breathe, taste, speak, and feel. And this is just the beginning, because the next area is even more surprising and even more essential, especially as we get older. Ready for it? Let's talk about your feet, the foundation of your mobility, balance, and freedom. Let's move down to the part of your body that literally carries you through life, your feet. Now you might be thinking, I rinse them in the shower. What more do they need? But here's something most people don't realize until it's too late. Foot hygiene is far more than just washing away a little dirt. Your feet aren't just an afterthought. They are the foundation of your posture, your balance, your circulation, and even your heart health. And just like a house with a cracked foundation, everything above it suffers when the base isn't strong. Why foot care gets more important with age. Each of your feet contains 26 bones, 33 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments. That's a quarter of the bones in your entire body, just in your feet. But here's the catch. As we age, circulation naturally slows, especially to the extremities. That means your feet are often the first to show signs of trouble. Cold toes that never warm up, swelling that lingers, redness, paleness, or even a change in skin texture, a tingling or burning sensation that won't go away. These aren't just annoyances. They're warning lights on your dashboard, signaling possible circulatory problems, nerve damage, or even diabetes complications. Dr. Emma Harris, a senior health specialist, puts it simply, when your feet start struggling, your whole body starts compensating. You might lean differently, walk less, and slowly lose your balance and confidence, all without realizing it's happening. But here's the good news. A little daily care goes a long way, and no, it doesn't require a trip to the spa. It starts with one key idea. Stop assuming the shower water is doing the job for you, because it's not. How to properly wash your feet. Every day, yes, daily, take a few extra minutes to intentionally clean your feet. Use warm, not hot water. Hot water can dry out the skin, increasing the risk of cracks and infections. Grab a soft washcloth and gentle soap. Clean the tops, soles, and sides of your feet, paying special attention between the toes. Think of your toes like window blinds. If you only wipe the surface but ignore the spaces between, dust and grime still collect. Same with your feet. And don't rush. Sit down if you need to. Use a shower chair, a small stool, or even wash them separately at the sink. It's worth it. Drying, the step most people skip. But shouldn't imagine washing a sink full of dishes, then stacking them wet in a dark cabinet. You'd expect mold and mildew, right? That's exactly what happens when we wash our feet, but don't dry them properly, especially between the toes. Moisture trapped in these tight spaces becomes the perfect breeding ground for fungal infections like athlete's foot. Something Thomas, a 73-year-old retiree, learned the hard way. He noticed a subtle itch between his toes, then discoloration, then peeling. His doctor diagnosed a fungal infection. The cause? Years of rinsing but never drying his feet completely. The right way to dry your feet: use a clean, soft towel. Gently pat, not rub, your feet dry. Lift and dry between each toe. Take your time. And if you wear socks afterward, make sure your feet are fully dry first. One more step: moisturize, but with precision. As we get older, the skin on our feet dries out faster. That leads to cracks, peeling, and discomfort. So after drying, apply a small dab of moisturizer to the tops and soles of your feet. Massage it in, but never apply lotion between your toes. Why? Because excess moisture there can undo all your work and invite fungal growth. It's a balance. Hydration where needed, dryness where necessary. Your feet, a daily health check-in. Make it a habit to look at your feet. Notice any color changes? Any sores that aren't healing? Any swelling or pain that's new? Your feet can tell you things long before other parts of your body catch on. Thomas said it best after changing his routine. When my feet felt better, I started walking more. When I walked more, my balance came back. And when my balance returned, so did my freedom. And now that we've given your feet the attention they deserve, let's move upward to a spot most of us only think about when we reach for deodorant: your underarms. But trust me, there's more going on there than you think. Let's talk about a place most of us clean on autopilot, quickly, casually, maybe just a swipe of soap or splash of water: your underarms. Now, for most people, armpits are simply the place you apply deodorant before heading out the door, a minor stop in the daily routine. But what if I told you this forgotten zone is doing far more for your health than you ever realized? Because under that skin, beneath the surface sweat and odor, is a hidden powerhouse that plays a critical role in your body's ability to detoxify and defend itself. The underarm's secret role: your immune system's drainage gate. Tucked quietly in your armpits are over 20 lymph nodes, tiny but powerful filters that help cleanse your body of toxins, waste, and even invading bacteria. Think of them like a drainage system under your kitchen sink. If grease and debris clog the pipes, you'll eventually get a backup. And that's exactly what happens when your underarms aren't properly cared for. When dead skin cells, deodorant residue, sweat, and bacteria pile up, they can block pores, inflame lymph nodes, and even trigger chronic irritation and infections. Over time, this buildup doesn't just affect how you smell. It can begin to weaken how your immune system functions. Helen Carter, a lymphatic health expert, puts it this way: when the underarms are clogged, it's like trying to drain your bathtub with a rag stuffed down the pipe. Your body has to work harder just to stay balanced. Common warning signs you might be ignoring: itchy rashes that keep returning, bumps, ingrown hairs, or painful lumps, a constant musty odor that deodorant won't touch, swollen or tender spots under your arms. These may seem small, but they're often signs that something deeper isn't working as it should. How to properly clean your underarms. And no, it's not just about more soap. It's about intentional, gentle care. Start in the shower with warm water. This helps open pores and loosen buildup. Use a soft washcloth or sponge, not your hands, and a mild fragrance-free cleanser. Now here's the trick. Don't just scrub in one direction. Use small circular motions, then up and down, then side to side. Think of it like polishing a fragile piece of crystal. You want to remove buildup, but without damaging delicate skin. Once clean, rinse thoroughly. Leftover soap residue can dry out the skin and create more irritation than it solves. Drying, the step that changes everything. If you've ever left damp clothes in a pile overnight, you know what happens. Smell, mildew, bacteria. The same goes for your underarms. After your shower, gently pat them dry with a soft towel. Don't rub. This can cause tiny tears that let bacteria in. Let your underarms air out for a minute or two before putting on deodorant. This simple pause helps your skin calm down, allowing products to work better and reducing the risk of irritation. What happens when you make this a habit? Olivia, a 65-year-old retired teacher, struggled for years with sensitive, bumpy skin under her arms. She assumed it was part of getting older, but once she switched to a gentler soap and a more mindful routine, everything changed. It was like night and day, she told me. The irritation vanished, and for the first time in years, I felt comfortable wearing sleeveless tops again. Bonus, a boost to your entire body. Taking better care of your underarms isn't just about staying fresh. It's about helping your body flush out waste more effectively, supporting your natural detox systems, and reducing inflammation at the root. Many people report increased energy, fewer immune flare-ups, a lighter, fresher feeling overall. It's amazing what a few simple tweaks can do. So the next time you wash up, pause for just a moment. Give your underarms more than a passing glance. They're not just there to sweat, they're helping you stay strong. And speaking of strong, let's move on to another area tied to your vitality in ways you might never expect. Your nose. Because the way you breathe may be affecting far more than just your lungs. Take a deep breath. Now ask yourself, when was the last time you really thought about how well you breathe? Breathing is so automatic, so invisible, that most of us never stop to consider, are we doing it well or just doing it? Here's something few people realize, especially as they get older. The quality of your breathing affects nearly everything. Your sleep, your energy, even your brain function. And at the center of it all is your nose. Your nose, the unsung hero of your health. Your nose isn't just a passageway for air. It's a highly sophisticated filtration system designed to trap dust, pollen, bacteria, and other airborne threats before they ever reach your lungs. It also warms, moistens, and conditions the air you breathe, so your body gets oxygen that's clean and ready to use. But like any filter, your nose needs maintenance. If you never change your home's air filter, what happens? Dust builds up, the system strains, the air grows stale. Your body works the same way. When you neglect nasal hygiene, tiny irritants and pollutants start to accumulate, causing congestion, snoring, restless sleep, brain fog, even respiratory infections. Helen Carter, a respiratory wellness expert, explains it like this. If your nose is clogged, your lungs and brain have to work harder. Over time, that wears you down, quietly but steadily. James's story, a breath of fresh air. James, a 69-year-old retired construction worker, spent decades inhaling sawdust, fumes, and grit. He thought congestion was just part of getting older. But one night, after waking up gasping for air, he knew something had to change. He began a simple nasal care routine, just a few minutes in the morning and at night. Within a week, he noticed a shift. It was like someone opened a window in my head, James said. I didn't realize how bad my breathing had gotten until it got better. How to clean your nose the right way. Let's start with the basics. 1. Morning rinse. Splash warm water around your nostrils to gently loosen mucus and overnight dust. 2. Saline spray. Think of this as a shower for your nasal passages. It flushes out allergens and clears blockages. 3. Neti pot, optional. This small teapot-shaped tool uses a saline solution to deeply cleanse your sinuses. Many first-time users call it life-changing. 4. Steam treatment. Breathe in warm steam from a hot shower or bowl of water. It softens thick mucus and opens up the airways. Add a drop of eucalyptus oil for a soothing boost. Important, blow your nose gently. Too much force can push mucus deeper into your sinuses. Always clear one nostril at a time and wash your hands afterward. The benefits? Almost immediate. Clearer breathing throughout the day. Deeper, more restful sleep at night. More oxygen to the brain, which means less fatigue and sharper focus. Fewer allergy flare-ups or colds, because you're flushing out irritants before they take hold. Bella's morning breakthrough. Bella, 76, loved gardening, but every spring her allergies made her mornings miserable, until she made one small change, adding a saline rinse to her morning routine. I used to wake up feeling like my head was full of cotton, she said. Now I breathe easier, feel clearer, and even my sleep has improved. Sometimes the smallest changes, done consistently, unlock the biggest results. One last tip. Keep your nose moisturized. As we age, the delicate lining inside the nose dries out faster, especially in cold or dry climates. A small dab of coconut oil or vitamin E applied gently with a clean fingertip can prevent cracks and discomfort. So yes, your nose matters, more than you ever imagined. And now that you're breathing better, sleeping better, and feeling more energized, let's move on to the most surprising body part yet. It's small, hidden, and often ignored. But when it's neglected, it can become a silent source of odor, irritation, and even infection. Let's talk about your belly button. It's small, it's hidden, and chances are you haven't cleaned it properly in years. We're talking about your belly button. Now, I know what you might be thinking. My belly button? Really? That tiny thing? Yes, really. Because this little indentation, which seems so harmless, can quietly collect sweat, bacteria, dead skin cells, and even lint, turning it into a surprisingly common source of odor, irritation, and infection. And the truth is, as we age, our skin changes. It becomes drier, more sensitive, slower to regenerate. That makes routine care of small areas, like your navel, more important than ever. Jane's story, a mystery solved. Jane, a 78-year-old retiree, always noticed a faint musty smell that didn't seem to go away. She switched soaps, changed her laundry detergent, even altered her diet, thinking maybe that was the cause. But nothing helped. Then, almost by accident, she gently cleaned her belly button with warm water and a cotton swab one morning. And just like that, the mystery was solved. The smell disappeared completely, she told me. I felt cleaner, more comfortable, and oddly enough, even my skin around my stomach felt softer. Why the belly button gets overlooked? Unlike hands or feet, we don't use our navels. They don't move much. They don't make noise. They don't call attention to themselves. But anatomically, the belly button is a natural crevice, a small pocket where moisture and debris easily collect. And because it's dark and often covered by clothing, it becomes a perfect environment for bacteria and yeast to thrive, especially in warmer weather or during activities that cause sweating. And if you've ever had a pierced belly button, even decades ago, it's even more important to keep this area clean. Old piercings may appear closed, but the hole remains a subtle trap for buildup and irritation. How to properly clean your belly button. The process is simple, but most people never do it. Here's how. 1. Use a warm washcloth or a cotton swab dipped in warm water or a mild fragrance-free soap. 2. Gently clean inside the navel, moving in small circular motions. Don't dig or press too hard. The skin is delicate. 3. If you notice stubborn buildup, use a little rubbing alcohol on a Q-tip, just once or twice a week, not daily. 4. Rinse well, then dry thoroughly. Just like with your feet or underarms, moisture can lead to irritation or infection. 5. For dry skin, apply a tiny amount of natural oil, like coconut or vitamin E, around but not inside the navel. That's it, a simple habit that takes under a minute. When to take extra caution. While regular cleaning is usually enough, pay attention to signs that something might be wrong. Persistent redness or itching, unusual discharge or foul odor. Pain that doesn't go away, especially if you have a history of piercing, swelling, or soreness, particularly in people with diabetes or weakened immune systems. These could be signs of a fungal or bacterial infection and should be checked by your doctor. Small area, big impact. It may seem insignificant, but taking care of this one overlooked spot can help you. Feel fresher and more confident. Reduce irritation or infections. Improve skin texture and comfort. Avoid unnecessary medical visits down the line. As Jane discovered, sometimes it's the little things that make the biggest difference. And now that we've gone from head to toe, tongue to toes to underarms to nose and belly button, you've uncovered 5 small hygiene habits that can have a huge effect on your health, energy, and longevity. So now I'd love to hear from you. Which one surprised you the most? Drop a comment below and let me know which of these habits you're going to try first. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more simple, science-backed tips to help you live better every day. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourself, every small part of you, and I'll see you in the next one. So there you have it, 5 simple body parts, 5 overlooked habits, and yet, when you take a little time each day to care for them, you're doing far more than just cleaning. You're investing in your future, in your energy, in your independence, in your dignity. Because as we get older, it's the small things that often make the biggest difference. Not the pills, not the surgeries, but the quiet routines, the ones we choose to do with care and consistency. Brushing the tongue, washing and drying the feet, cleansing the underarms the right way, clearing the nose, and yes, even tending to the belly button. These habits might take 5 minutes, but they can ripple outward into everything else, from your sleep and digestion to your mood and immune strength. You might notice your breath is fresher, your skin feels healthier, you walk with more ease, you breathe more deeply, you rest more peacefully at night, and over time, these small wins add up. They build momentum, and before you know it, you're not just surviving the years, you're thriving in them. Now it's your turn. I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 surprised you the most? Was it the tongue, the nose, or maybe the belly button? Drop a comment below and share which habit you're going to start adding to your daily routine. Your story might inspire someone else who's been quietly struggling, just like you once were. If you found even one tip in this video helpful, would you mind giving it a like? That tiny gesture helps me reach more people like you, people who deserve to live with energy, clarity, and comfort. And if you haven't already, I'd love to have you as part of this growing community. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure to turn on notifications so you never miss another video that could help you feel better, naturally, gently, and scientifically. Coming up next, in the next video, we're going to explore something equally surprising: the shower mistake that ages your skin by 10 years and how to fix it in 30 seconds. You won't want to miss it, especially if dry, thinning skin has been making you feel older than you are. So stick with me, because aging doesn't have to mean fading, and sometimes the path to feeling better starts in the most unexpected places. Take care of yourself, not just the obvious parts, but the forgotten ones too. You're worth the extra few minutes every single day. See you next time.